you start getting the revenues from the click ads and the click-throughs and all the different things you've exposed us to, how do you get paid? Through PayPal? Or
Most of the time.
They just hook up your PayPal number to it and it's automatic?
Yeah, basically. Sometimes you'll do ACH deposit. It depends who you're working with, but for the most part, it's usually like a net 30, net 60 basis. And sometimes with some of the bigger ad networks, it'll be net 45 or net 60. So you get paid later after the fact, but.
And are they good about it, or do they try to cheat you all the time, like pay-per-click?
Well, I think everybody has that kind of, the checks in the mail type of thing. But for the most part, they pay in full. I haven't really had a situation where I've been stiffed by them up until this point. So I'd say so far it's been successful. Okay, so even more revenue opportunities exist. Like, for example, I just saw a WordPress plugin the other day that lets you sell your own stock photography. I'm a photographer. I'm here in Orlando. I take a ton of pictures of cities and people and the beach and this and that. Sell your stock photos. Use a simple plugin that might cost you 10 or 20 bucks. I believe it's from Graph Paper Press, but I'm not positive. But just do a Google search for sell stock photography WordPress plugin, and you'll probably find it. The next one is like selling media. You could sell your own audio. Maybe you make beats, or maybe you make short audio samples of the waves crashing or whatever. Just figure out any way to sell anything you possibly can to make $1. And that's really the mission, because what that's going to do is help you to create more and more of that product for everybody else. You could sell things like articles and press releases. I have a press release. I want to put it up on your site. It's kind of like an advertorial sponsorship, but sell somebody the ability to post their press release on your site. The next one was a shopping cart and selling products. You could use a plugin called Jigo Shop. There's a bunch of WordPress plugins, like WooCommerce is another one from WooThemes.com that allows you to sell products and have a shopping cart. So if you have products to sell, by all means, get them up on your website. Later down the line, once you have a little bit more of a following, you can sell mobile ads. And then you can even do things like do freelance work for other people. Go on Craigslist, go on Backpage.com, go on Elance, go on Guru.com, and sign up to freelance for other people, whether it's writing or proofreading or doing images or helping people set up their page or whatever. You have to find that revenue for yourself. It's not just going to come to you all the time. There's also things like a subdomain referral. So with College Cures, we hooked up with bookrenter.com, and we set up, I think it was books.collegecures.com at one point, which I'm not sure if it still exists. But the point is that somebody could go there and rent their books right through us. We get a commission. Everybody wins.
Does that give you individual pages for College Cures?
What?
When you do a subdomain with a data feed like
That's a good question. Our SEO person might know that. If I have a subdomain and a storefront on that subdomain that's somebody else's, am I gaining more pages on my site that way? I mean, I'm not sure. I guess
because the subdomain is going to the other.
It's going to somebody
other
else.
IP address, but one depending on which is the main. Like if you're the one that it's. Like for us in education, when we hook onto the .edu sites, then we share the benefit of their domain authority. So you'd be careful that, because if whoever's hooking onto you, if their domain authority is higher than yours, that can cause issues for you and for them. So there's something to think about first, but there could be some benefits there depending on the situation.
Okay, so now I'm just going to list a couple of more possible ways that you can make money. Podcasting, translating people's websites for them. You speak Spanish, help them translate their site. You can refer employees. You can have a job board.
How do you make money from podcasting?
Sell the podcasts. Here's my podcast. It's 55 minutes long. We talk about how to build a business online. It's $1.99. Use that membership plugin, sell access to that podcast. You could do a classified ad, a directory, a forum. You could sell domain names on your site. You could resell things like SSL certificates. You could sell stuff for people on eBay. You could refer books that you like through Amazon affiliates. You can edit and proofread other people's websites. I mentioned before about domains. You can also buy typo domains and get revenue that way. You can park your domains, which basically means you have a domain name that you put ads on, and it just generates revenue at night.
Are there any of those that are any good?
What, parking? DomainNameSales.com is probably my favorite. It's run by Frank Schilling, one of the most successful domain investors on the planet. And they've managed millions of different domain names. And I've done pretty well with that. Parking a domain name basically means you buy a domain name URL and you just slap a bunch of ads on it. You basically point the domain to somebody else, they host all the ads. If they click the ads, you get paid a commission out of that. So once again, to come back to the getting creative, you know, offer specials, offer discounts, group things together. If you buy this and you buy this, it's a discount. Make things like expiring offers. This price is good for 7 days. This is only good for the first month or whatever. Create terms like, I'll sell you a sponsored post for $500, but if you buy it for 3 years, it's only $300 a year. So create different terms and create other ways to make value for yourself. Make the first dollar. Focus on making the first dollar. That is the best way to do it. If you can't make that one, then you'll never make any. Make sure that you create value for people, and make sure that you have a business plan first. Know what you're going to sell and what's going to create that money for you. Let me just continue just 1 second. And another thing is respond to every single email. A lot of the money that's come from College Cures that I've sold through private advertising has been somebody that emailed me for something unrelated to them buying something. Like, hey, I have this product or service. I would love to have you feature it on your site. That would be great. Hey, I can't feature it for free. 5, 6 emails later, that person will end up spending money for an advertisement or a sponsored post or review or something.